Hey everybody, and welcome to another RCT2 review. Today we've reached round number 4 of Head-to-Head 10. This is match number 1 and park number 1. This is Base X by the Hurricanes. This was made by 5 folks, bigshootergill and Levis with 25% each, Jappy and Kenos with 20%, and Coaster Creator 9 with 10%. Now I started this paused because there's actually an opening sequence on this. The premise of this park is that Elon Musk watched a little bit too much Top Gun and now has this whole interactive experience for billionaires. So that's a bit of an odd one, but here we go. We're gonna open it up. It says at the bottom you can get your day ticket now for only $1 million, so you know, what a deal. So here we go with the first little sequence here as we get some missiles coming in that are gonna blow up here in a minute and crash, and this kicks off a whole big fighter jet sequence. You can see the jets here going through the trench there around the coaster, flying all around. There's some smoke and all the crashing and everything, and then all of these are eventually going to crash. They're all named different things. There's the SAM's missiles, everything, Maverick bomb going off. This actually kind of reminds me of some old school parks. I feel like you used to get a lot of this where the opening sequence would be like a fountain show or a fireworks show or something where you know, have all these different things popping up. And I haven't seen that for a really long time. It's not my favorite, so I'm not, you know, too sad about that, but it is kind of interesting to see that sort of old school take on things. If it weren't for the pop-ups, I think it'd be a lot better, but it's always sort of annoying when you get the whole sequence there and then you have all these pop-ups that interrupt the music and everything. Speaking of music, I have chosen the rock style from the game to replace Kenny Loggins' Highway to the Danger Zone, which was the custom music for this map, so won't get a copyright strike. But if you want to hear that, download the map. Link is in the description video. So let's look at the park itself now that we are through the coordinated little sequence at the beginning. We've got this big coaster here in the middle, so this is the XFA95 test site, which we'll see here in just a minute. I'll follow that a little bit. We can see another one of the rides here, the Titan missile launch, going up the mountainside with the cool catwalks all around it. I actually really like the presentation of that, and colors too. It stands out really nicely against the mountain. I do like the way that the snow lays on top of this mountain as well. I think it looks good. Alright, so here we are with the coaster. We've got first launch there into this pretty cool roll element there. Another inversion here and a loop. Love the falling ice and also the floating ice and everything. I think that adds a nice little layer of things to it. Another launch here is we have this like moving target as well, which is kind of neat. Looks like a range of some sort. Kind of neat element here too with this sort of double roll and then up into another barrel roll here and the finale over here. Up into the brakes. We've got some transfer tracks, but only the one train, so I can help for maintenance perhaps. So this canyon is actually really nice. They've got a lot of good rock work and everything through it. We haven't really seen these rocks for a little while. Usually it's been the fish rocks so far, so this is a little bit of departure there. But nice to see, again, the ice pieces used well. I mean, the ice pieces are using the fish rocks, which I think it adds a nice little contrast for the that works pretty well. There's lots of like little rides and movements here. So we've got this biathlon, which is kind of fun, going down here with the ski or the jet ski, or I guess snowmobiles rather than jet skis, down through this whole area. And I like the little tracks that they have too, scenic pieces here, so it looks like it's actually a run that's being used. A little security guard saying please slow down. Lots of clickable guys, which is always good. Here's the snowmobile mechanic. You can see that going up and into different pieces. I guess this those biathlon shooting areas, because you can see the two targets right here as well. And then this is the second one with that moving target that we saw earlier that I kind of like. Another one buried over on this side. We've got lots of just little parts and pieces here, like the water is the moving water that we saw earlier in the contest, and again the nice floating ice piece. Some of them have the animation to it. A lot of using the moving water here, so we get this kind of floodgate dam that the coaster looks like it's kind of breaking through, so a little action sequence there. Got these SAM's units here. We got the clickable stuff, and all the guys that you can read some of the storyline elements to. I actually really like the detail on this gun turret. Right here we've got the Tesla Express, so laying back into the Elon Musk storyline here. A nice diagonal bridge as well on this one. But this goes up and through the whole area here. Another section here of this manicured snow, which I think is kind of neat. A couple of little conveyor elements here for the snowmobiles to come up and around, so that all moves. And as we see here, we've got this old monorail piece, Hyperloop transport coming across, which actually is sync up with the snowmobile here. Get this up, and there we go. So it actually lines up, so it looks like carrying the snowmobile across the gap there, which is kind of neat. Good little trick. Cool architecture. I like the kind of details here. I wish they would have done a little bit on the interior, maybe a little bit unfinished there, perhaps. But nice use of the half diagonals. These kind of like bubble windows are kind of neat. Up on top here we have a little pool, or heated pool, I guess. Relax after your big missile fight on the jet fighter. So cool industrial looking buildings here as well. I do like the gate here that opens up and closes as you come out. All the nice little pipes. We talked about this when we looked at the Void Extraction Base Park. The use of color to kind of make things pop out in kind of an otherwise drab environment, and that's what we've got going on here. You know, we've got all this gray and brown and white up against the kind of really bright whitish blue snow. But then you've got the coaster in the orange that are really standing out to the whole thing, as well as the these pipes and all the little bits and pieces on there. Here's some hangers using the typical trick there of the car ride and the wooden coaster. I do like this control tower. It's pretty cool with the angled glass element on top. This little runway on the side, pretty short runway though, but I guess a jet fighter could probably manage that. We'll get some solar panels on this side and more of the just radio tower type elements. There's an elevator that goes up to the top of this, so I guess this services this whole building, which is kind of partially inside this area here. We've got the a couple of clickable bits here. Here's Terry looking at rocks, Jappy on the lookout. Also, here's a helicopter, the Base X chopper that you see kind of going around, so a lot of nice little movement in the park. I always like to see bits and pieces of movement. That kind of helps really, I don't know, make it a little more lively. The couple of more little details here. One of the ones that I actually just found while I was prepping for the video is this. It's a little glow-in-the-dark golf, which I thought was kind of funny, that I hadn't noticed before. Bit there, which is kind of fun. You know, on the whole, I think the park might be a little bit unfinished, but I think it still comes together pretty well with some good landscape. Especially, I do like the coaster layout. I think it flows pretty well through the whole thing, and you know, looks pretty good. As a little bit of a spoiler to our next video, unfortunately, Base X had the fortunate positioning of going against what may be the park of the season. So that's coming up in the next video. Forward to see that. But if you want to download Base X, hear it with the actual music, and not have to worry about some copyright strikes, feel free to download this in the description. You need Open RCT2 to view this. I'll also post a link to that, and you can check that out as well. So next up is the opposing park that I've already teased for round number 4, match number 1, and we will see you in the next one. Well then, thank you all very much for watching. Bye now.